Now, there's some important points here that I want to go through. So these things do not affect the direction, do not affect the direction of inequality. So if you add or subtract a number from both sides, that does not affect the direction of inequality. And I'll show you in these examples. Another thing is if you multiply or divide both sides by a positive number, that does not affect the direction of the inequality. So what do I mean by that? Um, let's start by solving. Now, when you're solving inequalities, just use the same process that you'll use when you're solving linear equations. So, for example, here, the first step will be the opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5 on both sides. So add 5 on both sides. Okay, so if you add 5 on both sides, what you'll end up with is add 5 there, add 5 there, and you'll end up with negative 5 plus 5 is 0, so 5 is gone on the left. We end up with 2x is greater than or equal to 12. And then finish off that step by dividing both sides by 2. Opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by, so divide by 2, divide by 2. That's gone. So what you'll end up with is x not equal to, x is greater than or equal to 6. And that's your solution. So the same thing here. The opposite of adding 9 is subtracting 9. So subtract 9 from both sides. So what you'll end up with is 2y is less than 4. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So 2 is gone. And then we have y is less than 2 as our final solution. Now here, these things change the direction of inequality. Now this is very, very important. So these things change the direction of the inequality. For example, if you multiply both sides by a negative number, then the direction of the inequality has to change. Now I already explained this. When you swap the sides, the direction has to change. So I'll show you those whatevers by working out these examples. So here we'll just follow the same process as solving a linear equation. The opposite of adding 5 is subtracting 5. Go ahead and just subtract 5. You'll end up with 15 is less than 3x. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. That's gone. So, and we end up with this. Now we cannot leave this solution the way it is in this form because it does not make sense. So what you're going to do is we are going to swap the sides and change direction. Swap sides and change direction. Direction of inequality, which means that our final solution will be x is greater than 5. That is your final solution. Okay, I'll move on to the next video, next question. So, just following the same process, subtract 7 from both sides. So what I'll end up with is negative 4y is less than 12. The opposite of multiplying by negative 4 is dividing by negative 4. So let's go ahead, divide by negative 4, negative 4. Now what did we say? If you divide both sides by a negative number, then you have to change the direction of the inequality. So basically what we'll end up with here is y is greater than negative 3. the same solution, but of course you have to change the direction of the inequality.